It's Madden NFL 23. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Falcons and the Rams. And it's coming up next on EA Sports.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Atlanta Falcons and the Los Angeles Rams. Brandon Gaudin here with Charles Davis, as always. And CD, you look at the Rams in this matchup. It's a relatively balanced offense. The next-gen stats kind of bear that out. What do you think they'll be looking to do in this one?
I think it'll be exactly what you just talked about. They'll want to be balanced on offense, which means to them, they'll want everyone involved. See if they can get some one-on-ones in the passing game. Maybe identify some situation where they can swing the ball to the backs in space. Even find some spots where they just want to play some old-fashioned power football. As one of the most successful coaches in the league told us once, the definition of balanced offense, that means you can do what you want when you want to, not necessarily just running it 50% of the time and throwing it.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And here comes Matthew Stafford leading the Rams offense out there, just as he did last season when he captured his first and the Rams' second Super Bowl title.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
On first down, they'll start out with Akers. The numbers for him from a week ago: 21 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
It's a pretty mediocre week for him on the ground. Certainly a boon to his offense if he can get a little more output on his touches this week. He should get some more early carries as his team tries to get him into a rhythm.
On 2nd and inches, Stafford. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Arnold Ebiketie brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to Robinson. And shutting him off, now open field. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Cordero Patterson deep for Atlanta. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Well, the Falcons now get to stretch their wings on offense here, and at quarterback for them is a former 2nd overall pick who spent 4 seasons as a starter in Tennessee, Marcus Mariota.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup, threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
1st and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota at the 33-yard line. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Mariota. He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Troy Hill picks it, and the Rams are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
After the interception, here's Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. And the Rams had 0-1 of the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
Stafford looks to throw again. That'll be caught by Kupp. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll go again here with Akers. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Play action. Stafford. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the 1st. Gay's kick is good. And the Rams have the 1st points here. It's 3-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their 1st turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. Their 2nd drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
As a good start to the season, they got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. The road ahead a little bit more difficult now after that pick six. So dealing with this deficit here, we'll see if he can try to make amends on this drive. 1st and 10. 1st and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota at their 25-yard line. They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mariota. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
1st and 10, it's Patterson. To the 43, 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw Mariota. Looking left sideline, incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Mariota. And that is incomplete. On 4th down, Dom Maggio out to punt. Back deep, Brandon Powell. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 18. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Stafford. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Going right back to Akers. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the 1st down yardage. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They'll try the air now with Stafford. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down. To throw again on second down, Stafford. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Off a play action. Here's Stafford. Steps away. Throw left side complete. That's Robinson. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter. As they've got it with 4th down and 1. They'll run for it with Akers. And he is going to have the Rams first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. It's a gain of 4 that time. And it'll be a Los Angeles first down. Stafford. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here's Stafford. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. On 2nd and goal, Stafford. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
Now, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
4th down, and we go from one Matt to another. Stafford heads off. Matt Gay gets set for the Rams field goal. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Week 2 underway around the NFL, and a reminder that later tonight it'll be Chicago and Green Bay in the Packers home opener, the 101st season of that great rivalry. They had the 100th anniversary last year. And then tomorrow night a treat, a Monday night doubleheader. And a loose football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring a 3.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the...
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Personal foul. Nothing has happened. Defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is declined.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. And plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a.
He's got a man complete, and they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 39 yards there, a big one.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll give it to Patterson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. To throw is Mariota. Gets this to Ferkser, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Aaron Donald in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Throwing, Mariota. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On 4th down, Mariota is off, and on comes Atlanta's Younghoe Koo. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And he returns this to the 22. So here are the Rams to take over. They're trying to get back on track following the loss to Buffalo a week ago. But the good news, they've got the lead right now here in the football 1st and 10. Throwing is Stafford. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. D'Angelo Malone in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack. They're staring up at a 3rd and long. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Riley Dixon now to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be Falcon football. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kid who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun, a run with Patterson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here's Dom Maggio now. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10. Just shy of the 30. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. He'll dump this off to Akers. He showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. A give up the middle to Akers. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line. The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's gonna bring up 4th down.
Good clean play, no flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And out will come the offense as they take over. They go play action. Mariota. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Running the counter, Patterson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Second down at 6 now from the 42. Throwing is Mariota. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On third down, Mariota. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. On first down at Stafford. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
It's second down and 10.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Stafford over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Stafford on third down. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. Touchdown, LA! Cam Akers, his second touchdown on the season. And the Rams are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Cameron bats it now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And the Falcons now are going to go on offense late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. And this will be caught by Edwards. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. From the 30 on second down, Mariota. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Stafford nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. So holding on the offense, they go ahead and decline the penalty, and the ball will change hands on the fumble recovery. A first down throw for Mariota. That's complete to his tight end, Ferkser. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. On second and very short, Mariota. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Now a timeout signal for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the gun, Mariota. And complete to Drake London. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Final play of the half here, Mariota. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on fourth down, this is a big call. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And not much went right in those first two quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Rams, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of the spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Mariota. Open man, there is Patterson, complete. And he goes out right around the 39. Straight ahead, Patterson. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. 6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. Toss it out right here to Patterson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They've not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on third. Now Mariota. And that is incomplete. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At their own 13. Stafford. Now that'll be caught by Cup. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Man open, it. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet, and the Falcons grab it.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Now a 1st down throw, Stafford. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
On the handoff, it's Akers.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mariota. That's to the speedster Olamide Zaccheaus.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Play fake. Mariota out to his left. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Mariota's throw taken in by Edwards. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Patterson running between the tackles. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Once more, they turn to Patterson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30.
3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Akou just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
On 1st down, Stafford here. Open man right side is Kupp, complete.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
From the gun, here's Stafford.
Looking for Cooper Kupp again, 2 in a row. Stafford to his #1 guy, Kupp, for a Los Angeles first.
As he gets the first down, let's take a look at what Cooper Kupp did last season, because it was one of the greatest years for a receiver in NFL history. 145 catches, 1,947 yards, both second most in a season all time. Truly an MVP caliber performance for the Super Bowl champs, and he capped it off in the Super Bowl himself as the MVP.
The tackle made at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd
From the 44, Stafford over the middle. That's hauled in by Kupp.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10.
Throwing is Stafford. Open man, Higbee, the tight end.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
A gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 56 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
On 1st down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
at the 20-yard line.
Here's Stafford.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
4th down, and we go from one Matt to another. Stafford heads off. Matt Gay gets set for the Rams field goal.
Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they've had that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Atlanta regains possession of the football. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Got a man, it's Patterson, complete.
Mariota's pass, complete to Patterson. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second.
From the 36, Mariota.
Another completion right back to Patterson.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Again, it's Mariota. And he loses the football a second time. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. On first down, they'll start out with Akers.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Sliding out of the pocket. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mariota looking sideline, incomplete. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just one conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing, Mariota. And this one is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The Falcons send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At their own 43.
He starts with a give to Akers.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now it's Stafford.
That's into the hands of Akers, complete.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford.
He finds Robinson.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And Gay knocks this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Third and short yardage. Mariota.
He's got a man. It's Ferkser, the tight end.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Mariota to throw it. Over the middle, complete. That's Edwards. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Mariota again.
It's Edwards again. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota.
Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mariota
right back to Pitts again. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll go. It's Patterson.
And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Falcons.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Now for the point after. And the lead is down to 20. That time, a 9-play drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the hands team for the Rams able to secure the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now a run with Akers.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
So it's the Rams here that take home the W. And this one, Charles, too much Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, what struck me was how composed he was in the pocket. The numbers weren't spectacular. He had 2 touchdown passes, that's it. But he led his guys on some important drives when they needed it most, and they're going to come away with the victory.
So for Los Angeles, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory.